craziness. Unless you're talking about the kidnappers, I'm not sure who you're referring to. All right, as I was trying to say, you're gonna have to kidnap more people or one more person. Of course, I'm not telling somebody to do that, and I shouldn't have to say that part, but it is what it is. He's gonna lose power because what they're doing is they're moving in closer, trying to figure out where this person is, right? Now, being that you get yourself into a situation where now you have a live woman, if she still is alive, now you got to figure out what you're going to do. Now you got to figure out what you're going to do with her, what you're going to do at this point. So, in the beginning, they said this was very well thought out. This person went in the house and, he got her mom, got this, that. It's like, okay, it was very well planned out, but he left her medication. So this woman has been without her medication that must be necessary, right? And it's been going on for 3 weeks now. So if anything, she's becoming more and more of a liability. He's gonna want to get rid of her one way or the other. If you still didn't get the demands met or something, it seems like the deal is still been shifty. It's been off. So what you're gonna have to do is I'm just saying the safer way for the kidnapper would be to kidnap another person or even a couple. You need more under your belt because in a minute you're weakening, so when authorities have the upper hand, that's going to make the kidnapper and anybody that has to do with it scared, and you don't want them to do something to her. So it's like he's at the point where I think he's like, dang, who else can I grab? I may give Nancy up, but I still need a hostage or two to finish my plan because it's just not working out. They said there's a list of 40 names. I was already thinking he's going to try to get other people kidnapped. So news reporters and them are saying like, oh, we got to get our guns. We got to get this. You already should be prepared for stuff too. Like the world and the people in it have been showing us for some time now to prepare for the worst anyway. You don't want to live in fear and all that. But my point is, you can't just let someone just steal your joy completely. There's always some goodness in change. There's always some goodness in things that are going on. But the same thing we're seeing with the kidnapping and things like that, it's like we're seeing it. We're seeing it in our lives. I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm Kai Y7. I see symbolism in things. I don't know about y'all. So if you got a little time, I just wanted to share some of that with y'all. What we're seeing, you may feel like, oh, that's them. And, well, I'm not a celebrity. Well, I don't know. It's still in us. It still can affect us. What you're seeing is things that are still a part of our lives, too. It's just what you're going to do with it. How much you're going to let it affect you. I like to solve problems. And I feel like a lot of people are just making problems, but I like to solve them. So I'm somebody that's more of an asset, not a downer to the world. We're coming to a point in life where we're going to see some people go. It's going to be deaths, large amounts of death and things, because there's a line divided between the righteous and the non-righteous. Most average people feel we can live in between. There's not a whole lot of in between right now, y'all. Y'all got to make a decision. You got to start helping solve problems, or you are part of the problem. We got racism out of control, but it's always been there. We not stop acting like just because Republicans is in charge, but it still would be here. It still would be here and runs rampant in everybody's party. Stop it. We got genderism. We got the sexism problems. We have a lot of problems, but it's like, are we really trying to solve them or what? Now, like I said, with the kidnapping, it's just like, you just can't let people steal your joy. You're going to be faced with something. So it's like, I feel like it's like part of the world is asking us, what are you going to do about it? What if we start coming in your homes? Why are you now feeling like, oh, maybe I should get an alarm system? Maybe I should, because she's missing. And they said this man has a list of more people to come and nap. I guess you would call it nap. If you kidnapping people, can you say nap? Napping? Whatever. But everybody hopes she's okay, so we'll see. But this whole dragging out, and it's like it's sucking the life out of Savannah. Every time she does a video, it's like we see her, right? And it's draining her, and it's like she's losing some of her life. I know what that feels like. You could die like that. So I just hope that she has the right support around her, because what you're doing is, it's almost like you're just barely hanging on, and you're coming online and stuff. And some people get joy out of that, and that's demented. I honestly would suggest she don't do no more videos. I wouldn't want to see no more. We get it. And the only thing I would say that that Savannah did say that I don't think she should have said was, it's never too late to do the right thing. There is a too late. It's too late now. You done had her for 3 weeks. She's 84 years old. She hasn't had none of her medication. This is a high profile case. So everybody's on it. Everybody's listening. Everybody wants to know what's going on. More people are going to feel threatened in that area because you're not getting the guy yet. What's with the deal? He just wants the money. You said you got it. Give him the money. Where's the woman at? This should have been done. This should have been done. Then you get a man on a ring cam, which I should pull that up. They keep blocking his face out of the ring cam. I don't know why they do what. The only thing I could think of really is when you have the news stations coming on, and matter of fact, it's in here. Let me pull that up. When you have the news stations coming on, right? They don't want to be accountable for making it seem like this is the man that did it. You're not saying that. You could still show somebody on ring cam. I don't know why they keep blurring the guy. If anybody in the chat thinks they know why they're doing that, can you please say something? Because I don't get it. And I feel like this could be one of the biggest clues is him. So why would you keep hiding that from everyone when they put it on the screen? You're already making it clear that you don't know if this is the guy. But at the same time, this is a suspicious person that's been on ring cam. He's running out of power and he's running out of patience. So he may end up looking for another hostage. That's my point. Is it going? Who's doing that? So I can't even see my screen. So hopefully. Then there was stuff going on where they're saying all Mexicans don't look alike because they think that this man is possibly of Mexican descent or something. He has some kind of ethnicity to him, but I wasn't thinking necessarily Mexican. He could be a mix. He could be Italian or something. He could be you know what I'm saying? So now people are feeling like be careful because y'all starting to racially profile other men that are of, a similar descent, and they're arresting them. They just got 3 people, and I'm trying to think they might have had a 4th person, and they let them free. Now the guy came online and said, it wasn't me, but they let me out, blah blah. He was laughing about it, because he's just like, why would they thought that I'm the guy that's, so there's a lot of that going on too. So it's just like, why are you hiding his face everywhere? There's one channel on here that has his face. Well, I have it too. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, come on now. And this was courtesy of Iked Mel. Iked Mel is on YouTube. I've been subscribed to him for years, and now he's just blowing up because he does a lot of car chases, and just bad stories. People that do like really bad stories on their channel and they go live, they be having so many numbers. We get a thrill out of dismay. And as humans, it's funny how we don't admit that, but we like to say gangs are bad and crime. Oh, look at that mob over. Oh, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. Why are bad people able to charm us and draw us in? Why are we a people that are so interested in bad stuff? That's what it is. I was interested in crime because I was interested in law. So that's why I studied that. But everyone else, I don't know what the problem is. But they got to get her. They got to get her back home. This is just going to get more and more. So I'm wondering how y'all feel about another kidnapping. You know what I mean? The suspect is put out there that they're ready to get somebody else off the list or some more people. They may be able to pull it off. They may be able to pull it off. I forget what you call it, but collateral. They would have more of an upper hand by getting at least one or two more hostages. It's just what it is. So yeah. But I guess my point was not letting people, steal your joy, things like that. I had an issue getting my setup going on here, so I don't know. So I may have to just come back in. I know I went on and on with that. That's what she was asking. If you're even still here. So that's pretty much just my take on that, and just wondering, y'all have thoughts on what's going on, and are the things that you're seeing online, how is that affecting you? Is that affecting y'all emotionally at all? I think it is. It's affecting a lot of people, especially if it's someone you like or have gotten to know. That's when it affects you more. I don't know them, but I mean, I could just imagine that, what they would feel like. But it just bothers me that the woman came online saying she wanted a new security system for her house. And I'm just like, you got to watch what you put online. You just got to watch what you put online. There was a guy that had fake money stacked like this. Was he in Detroit, or was he? Anyway, somebody came and bopped him upside the head, shot him by his head. It was like, where the money? He said it was fake. It was fake. And they tried to kill him. But the interesting thing to me was that he said they had bulletproof vests on and it said police on it. I haven't heard of nobody else getting ran up on with people that were disguised as police other than the police. So that's what makes some of these things worse, because it depends on the money part. A lot of times, a lot of people could be a suspect in cases. People just doing what they feel like doing. So a lot of people are a suspect. So if you're going through something in your life, or you want to help solve crimes, which I really enjoy doing too, to be honest, everybody's a suspect. So I still was suspecting her son. I was like, why it look like he don't really care? Why he look like he tired? Like, you better wake up. I know, it's tiring, but I don't know. I just guess I would hope people care if I was missing, but don't come on here looking like, oh, can you return her, please? We got other stuff to do. Can you return her, please? So we got that. So how's y'all days going? Hope y'all days are starting off good, or you got nighttime. What y'all got going on? Oh, there they go. Don't say that. Who said R.I.P. Jesse Jackson? Then again, I don't mean to say don't say that. I mean, did something happen? Did something happen? And again, sometimes people do that. You guys be doing that. Oh, wait, huh? He just died? Oh, wow. Jesse Jackson, civil rights leader who ran for president, dies at age 17. That's a 17. Excuse me. It's February 17th. Dies at age 84. Thank you, Lord, Lord. Lord of mercy. La, la, la. Never would have made it. Mixing all kind of songs together for you. Whoa, whoa. Where the white folks at? Y'all hear like, oh gosh, is that a new Negro spiritual? Is that a new Negro spiritual? Oh, okay. All right, well, I feel left out. Don't worry about it. Some of us black folks feel left out all the time, even with our own. Wow, well, rest in peace. I mean, I guess. I feel like that was so not good. I don't know what else to say. I just found out. No, no, no. Oh, Lord of mercy. Now we get to watch people act up. Now we get to watch people act up. It's about to be on. I'm telling you, I told y'all before, when our last funerals I went to, it is a show. So when someone is of prestige like this, oh man, he did a lot of great things for people. Um, did a lot of great things, y'all. Wow. extremely peaceful, but also no nonsense. You got to have strength when you're fighting. You have to. Wow. I'm glad I looked it up because sometimes people will come in the chat and they'll say something and it's not true, but they do a lot of RIPs and stuff. So thank you for sharing that. Now you thought I was trolling. See you later. You could leave. What are you talking about? All I said was really. You see me, look it right up. And plus, if you don't come in my chat often and I don't know you, what am I supposed to know? I don't know you. I don't know you at all. And when we're in these vertical modes and whatnot, most of y'all are trolls, especially if you don't talk and you ain't kicking it with me what I'm supposed to think. So, yeah, he passed away. Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson, dead at 84. Wow. All right. And this is CBS News. They just broadcasted it 5:54 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure what time y'all on. Oh my gosh. All right. So he revealed in 2017, Reverend Jesse Jackson was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So he did have that disease for some time. And things were changing and he didn't speak as much as the years went on. If y'all, noticed that too. He hasn't, been talking as much. And it seemed like as the years go on, he spoke less. Mm. He was a member of King's Circle, so with Martin Luther King, Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. 40 honorary doctorate degrees from top universities. Rainbow Push Coalition, I remember that. Wow. Okay. Wow. I started to say, like, come on now, he dead. But it's like, what's interesting being a human, we know that there's death. Not everyone believes that, though there's some people that feel like if we are alive during the return of Jesus Christ, you don't perish, you don't die, you live on forever. So there's different views of that. Um, some people feel we get reincarnated, all that, but we know there's an end of some kind. So it's just when it happens, we be like, oh no, I just figure, hey, live a long life. And then that's when we can't really complain. We feel you lived your life. And, you just got to hope for the best with people. But yeah, he definitely died. Wow. Associated Press. He led the civil rights movement for decades. For decades after King. Well, thank you for your service, ultimately. Wow. I'm like, should I put that in the title? All right, what else is going on with y'all? Oh, okay, there's other people in here too. It was sort of a different world he was when he encouraged voting. Oh, okay, so I got somebody from the era of a different world in here. Well, possibly. That was a great show. Ooh. It would be great if I could learn to sit in this new chair I got in my stool. I gotta put my other one together too. I want to see a different world now. Is that Vivica? Oh, I'm sorry. Virgo Fox. I don't know where I got that from. So I was about to say Vivica Fox. Like all of a sudden Vivica up in here. Girl. Virgo Fox. All right, we got a Virgo in the house. We got a Foxy Virgo in the house. Um. Oh my goodness. A Different World with Jesse Jackson. Gotta pull it up. Let me see if I. All right, Tommy, don't start making noise. Let me just get through a little more and then I'll eat. So just shut up for a minute. Oh, this is it. This lecture tonight. I don't know how to share screen through the mobile. I thought about a young man who had been in a rather sad and melancholy mood, feeling insignificant, impotent, worthless, and he did not count. What's a melancholy mood? As I thought about him, it occurred to me that his real problem was he felt that as one person, he could not make a difference. The change in America that has taken place in the last 30 years has occurred because somebody thought that they could make a difference. Right. The changes did not come from Wall Street, or the White House, or the Congress, the courts. They always started by some young person who thought that they could, in fact, make a difference. Yeah. Rosa Parks got on a bus one day. The sign above the driver's head read, "The colored seat from the rear, white seat from the front. Violators will be punished by law." She refused to go to the back of the bus. Yes, she did. And she was arrested. Dr. King went to her rescue, a 26-year-old student. You heard the person. Yes, she did. I like that. I like when they be having the guy with his Pastor Geno Jennings be always having a guy too there. He's like his wingman. I'll call him his angel wingman. They be like, "That's right. I was there. Oh, I'm about to start talking a little bit like that for the day. How about that? And told her better that you walk in dignity than ride in shame. This is from 1989. One person can make a difference. In 1957, 9 students at Little Rock Central High in Arkansas. Whitley. Was it Dwayne Wayne? I don't remember the other names, but yeah, y'all. Thank you for bringing that up. Thanks for bringing that up. The 5 horse cometh. All right. Congratulations to Dr. Umar. He applies for a set. You being funny. You being funny. Oh, I can show on the screen. Hold on. Let me put that up there. Oh, there we go. Highlighted that. Okay. No, Dr. Umar said that the school is finished. I'm not listening to no more about the school from him, to be honest. No matter how much I praise his intelligence and stuff. He's got some other issues going on, and he's not going to keep dragging me and my people for the taking. You know what I mean? He has to stop. Now, with leadership, now that you mentioned Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, leadership tends to consist of a network too. You know, our modern men these days, I feel they want to get rid of the entourage. They want it to just be them. But don't you realize that Martin Luther King had a huge entourage, but a lot of it just said his name. A lot of it was based from him. So it's like, you know, the problem today with our men that are trying to be leaders, I guess, which would be good because we need more leadership. They want to do it alone. They're letting their ego direct their leadership. That's not going to work for our people. That's not going to work for any people. Test. I'm on my. Hold on. Test. Test. Okay. Okay. Test. Test. Echo. Come on. Test. Test. No echo. Okay.
John Kennedy was elected by a margin of 112,000 votes. Less than 1 vote per precinct. Everybody counts. Nixon beat Humphrey by 550,000 votes. Carter beat Ford by 1.7 million. Fewer than 3 million votes elected 3 presidents in 16 years. Today there are 3.2 million high school seniors alone graduating. They should come across that stage with a diploma in one hand and a voter card in the other, because they can make a difference. $12 million college students must vote. You have the power. You must not have the attitude. It's not my aptitude, but my attitude that determines my altitude or how high I will go. My mind is a pearl. I can learn anything in the world. Just because it rains, I don't have to drown. I may have been born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. I can rise above my circumstance. Hands that once picked cotton can now pick presidents. You want to free Mandela and free South Africa? Let's vote about it. Let's vote about it. Earlier today, as I contemplated this lecture tonight, I thought about a young man who had been in a rather sad and melancholy mood, feeling insignificant, impotent, worthless, that he did not count. As I thought about him, it occurred to me that his real problem was he felt that as one person, he could not make a difference. The change in America that's taken place in the last 30 years has occurred because somebody thought that they could make a difference. That's right. The changes did not come from Wall Street, or the White House, or the Congress, the courts. They were always started by some young person who thought that they could, in fact, make a difference. Yes. Rosa Parks got on a bus one day. The sign above the driver's head read, "The colored seat from the rear, white seat from the front. Violators will be punished by law. She refused to go to the back of the bus.
Yes, you did.
And she was arrested. Dr. King went to her rescue, a 26-year-old student, and told her, better let you walk in dignity than ride in shame. One person can make a difference. In 1957, 9 students at Little Rock Central High in Arkansas went to school one day led by the army. They refused to bow. They made a difference.
Made a difference.
In the next few years, young America died that we might live. Medgar Evers was killed in cold blood about this right to vote. Sonia Goodman and chained 2 Jews and an African American were bulldozed to death with their eyes wide open in Philadelphia, Mississippi, about this right to vote. Jimmy Lee Jackson's 15-year-old African American.
All right, y'all. I think we're good now. That was the first time I actually went from mobile to the PC, so that's interesting, but it worked. All right, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so today will mark the day. Black History Month too. Well, recognize Black History Month every month for me. Did I apply to design? Wow. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see if you guys are saying anything else, or we continue to chat here. Yes. Anyone that's just finding out, a lot of people are just finding out. I'm always snatching my glasses off. Can't see worth a damn. I have a right to see. Yay. Yeah. 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 All right. Okay. So now we got that kind of in the way. All right. Each one teach one. Say what you want about. Say what you will about. What is television keeping trying to make a difference? Oh, I think I remember that. Dwayne Wayne. Him and Denise Whitney. Why did my headphones just pop out? That's not good. Let me go get it for a moment, sir. All right, let me see. Let's excuse me. Wow, y'all. That's it. That's it. Our world is about to crumble down. It's already working out. Nah, if anything, he taught us to stay strong. That's what he taught us. That's what he taught us. All right. So that's what we got going on. Oh wait. Let me go back in here. Get something else out here. Oh, he was on SNL too. They be hating though when you touch SNL. They be straight hating.
Johnson is live outside Rainbow Push Coalition office with reaction to his death and more on his life. Good morning, Darius.
Going on.
Hey there, ladies. Good morning to the both of you. The world and the city of Chicago is waking up this morning to this heartbreaking news, and where we're standing right now is outside the Rainbow Push Coalition, which has been a headquarter for justice for many decades. And today, it's turning into a place of remembrance and mourning as many people wake up and honor the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. Now, Reverend Jackson did not just lead a movement, he expanded it, turning civil rights into a global call for economic fairness, political power, power and human dignity. And this morning, Chicago is not just losing a leader, it's losing one of its most defining moral voices. Now, Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson Sr. was born in Greenville, South Carolina, but it was the city of Chicago where he took his influence took root and began to spread worldwide. As a young activist, he worked closely with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., emerging as one of the most recognizable figures of the civil rights era. In 1971, he founded Operation Push, later merging it with Rainbow Coalition to unite people across race, class, and political lines. His presidential runs in the 1980s broke barriers, proving a black candidate could build a national and multicultural political movement while also instilling hope in people of color. Even in recent years, while facing serious health challenges, including Parkinson's disease and a rare neurological disorder, Jackson continued to appear at rallies, speak out on injustice, instill hope in those who are even held behind bars here in Cook County, and also mentoring a new generation of leaders. This morning, we had a chance to speak to his former senior advisor and spokesperson about his passing and the impact he made across the world.
From telecom to politics to government, if you look at the people who have inspired and worked through Reverend Jackson, who are major power brokers in Congress and in U.S. Senate, and believe it or not, even become the U.S. president, become the vice president. He blazed the trail for everybody.
Now, public observances are expected to be held here in the city of Chicago, with details to be later released by the Rainbow Push Coalition. And while many tributes are already beginning to pour in, we know we can expect more throughout the day, and all of those will be to honor and remember the life of Jesse Jackson, not only for the history that he witnessed, but for the history that he forced this country to confront. Now, his family is asking people across the world to honor his memory by continuing the fight for justice, that very fight that defined his life. We're live here outside the Rainbow Push Coalition this morning. I'm Darius Johnson. Dana, Audrina, back to you.
Darius, thank you so much.
Reverend Jesse Jackson has died. For more than 5 decades, he stood as a towering figure of the civil rights movement, rising to prominence in the 1960s alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a vocal champion fighting for desegregation and equality for Black Americans and marginalized communities, a fierce advocate for voting rights.
Reverend Jackson was at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis the night Dr. King was assassinated. He was standing in the courtyard and was among the first to reach him after that fatal shot was fired.
He founded Operation Push, dedicated to improving the economic status of African Americans and disadvantaged groups. A trailblazer and 2-time presidential candidate, he ran for the Democratic nomination in 1984 and 1988. His Rainbow Coalition was designed to form a diverse alliance of African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans, women, and the LGBTQ community.
Reverend Jackson was visibly moved to tears when President Obama was first elected in 2008. The realization of his lifelong work and unparalleled victory of the civil rights movement.
His life was dedicated to civil rights during some of America's most turbulent times. A legacy of steadfast activism, giving a voice to millions and helping reshape the American landscape. Here's ABC's Pierre Thomas with a look back at Jackson's life.
All of his life, the Reverend Jesse Jackson preaching, exhorting, demanding justice in a quest to help his people and nation overcome.
We ain't the bottom, we the foundation.
Always marching, civil rights nonviolent soldier. There he was, shoulder to shoulder with Martin Luther King Jr. after witnessing the beatings of Bloody Sunday on television. Jackson eventually became one of the top lieutenants in the critical Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which challenged the Jim Crow South's withering oppression. A witness to history, he was there on that fateful April evening when King was struck down by an assassin's bullet.
I tried to feel his head, and I asked him, I said, Dr. King, do you hear me? Dr. King, do you hear me? And he didn't say anything.
After a leadership struggle with King's successor, Reverend Ralph Abernathy, Jackson split from the SCLC and formed a new organization, People United to Save Humanity, PUSH.
Black, beautiful.
After Dr. King, I don't think anyone captured the spirit of America like Reverend Jackson, and he took the movement north. I think Jesse Jackson was the link from that generation of King and them all the way to my generation, and then the generation behind me.
The first wave of the civil rights movement had succeeded in breaking down significant barriers, but Jackson's primary focus was on economic empowerment.
We know that we are worthy of respect and protection, but nobody really knows our name, and so we're really still struggling.
He broke boundaries in politics, twice running for president, first in 1984 under the banner of a rainbow coalition.
Our flag is red, white, and blue, but our nation is rainbow. Red, yellow, brown, black, and white, we're all precious in God's sight.
In 1988, he was, for a time, the Democratic Party's frontrunner for the presidential nomination, winning 11 primaries and caucuses before eventually losing the nomination to Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis.
I'd rather go down in the stirring fight than drowse to death at the sheltered shore.
Jackson also took on the role of freelance international negotiator, meeting with some of the world's most brutal tyrants.
Overseas, the American black activist Jesse Jackson has become an intermediary in the Middle East.
In 1984, he met with Syria's Hafez al-Assad,
Goodman and the Reverend Jackson arrived at Andrews Air Force Base,
securing the release of downed American naval officer Lieutenant Robert Goodman. In 1990, he held talks with Saddam Hussein to free foreign nationals being held in Iraq as human shields. And in 1999, he went behind enemy lines again to meet with Slobodan Milosevic to negotiate the return of 3 American prisoners of war. At times, he was a spiritual advisor, counseling President Clinton in his darkest hour, facing impeachment over a sex scandal. But Jackson had his own moments where he fell far short of what he had championed. In the mid-1980s, facing controversy for allegedly making a highly offensive remark about the Jewish community.
I deny, and I do not recall ever making such a statement in any context that would be remotely construed as being either anti-Semitic or anti-Israel. However innocent and unintended, it was insensitive and wrong.
And as an ordained minister, having to admit in 2001 he had fathered a child after an affair with a former staffer. Although somewhat diminished, Jackson leaned in on his faith of forgiveness and redemption and kept fighting, keeping his eyes on the prize. He saw one of his hopes realized on election night in 2008 in Chicago's Grant Park.
America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there.
He wept as President-elect Barack Obama.
I wept too at the inauguration and everything of President Obama. That was something. It was something that we didn't think we would see. It was just emotional. I didn't remember that Jesse Jackson fathered a child. So what, he was probably already married and then he messed around with somebody in his campaign. Okay. I didn't mean to just chime in on that. Of course, he was a great man. That caught my eye, my attention. I was like, huh? It's always like a scandal. All right, let me let them finish.
Obama delivered his victory speech. In recent years, the effects of age and a long illness had slowed his gait, but not his spirit. After the conviction of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin for the killing of George Floyd, Jackson made it a point to be there in Minneapolis. Through it all, Jackson's faith and hope in what America could be endured.
America will get better and better. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. I love you very much.
Our thanks to Pierre Thomas. Jackson is survived by his wife Jacqueline and their family. Their family just releasing a statement saying, "Our father was a servant leader not only to our family, but to the oppressed, the voiceless, and the overlooked around the world."
Yeah, they added, "We shared him with the world, and in return, the world became part of our extended family. His unwavering belief in justice, equality, and love uplifted millions, and we ask you to honor his memory by continuing the fight for the values he lived by." Family adding in the statement that public observances will be held in Chicago. Final arrangements for Reverend Jackson's Celebration of Life services, including all public events, will be released by the Rainbow Push Coalition.
All right, there we have it. That's at least some of the recap. I'm looking. All right, so I need to recap my glasses. I can't. I need to see. Now my eye is on the sparrow because I can see. Woo! There you have it. So there's going to be lots of national, worldwide reactions to this because it just came in this morning, like literally, maybe like right at 6 p.m. I would say a couple hours in, maybe, to start circulating. Anyone else in here coming in late? Not late, but whatever. So everybody getting ready for our day and stuff, and this just came in. Somebody said they cried too, Tyler. Well, to be honest, I shed a tear twice. It was when Obama was elected. That was for a great reason because I had great expectations and he did do a good job. A lot of people think that he could have did better, and I do see some things going on, and I do have some different feelings now a little later in life. But I also got emotional when Trump won his first election, and that was for different reasons also. Just like how you just said you felt that way when Obama, that's how I felt the first time Trump was elected. I couldn't believe it. But I was like, oh God, we going down the pipes. And we did. So, but this time around has been, in my view, it's been different. So, but as a people, people are hard to please. You know, you guys would never be satisfied. You know, the only time somebody probably be satisfied is if you're the one in charge. You know, we just hard to please. Just hard to please. We're a very divided nation. Always have been. So there we go. I just like hearing people actually try to solve problems instead of complaining. You know, I don't have a channel where I want a whole bunch of people just complaining all the time. Like, let's talk about change. Let's talk about what we could do to make a difference. Like, let's talk about some of that. Let's talk about how I'm looking like I'm sitting like this. Ugh, Archie back. Archie back. Archie back. Archie back. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Trying. Can't please everybody. All right, we got any other thoughts going on with this news just coming in? But yeah, each one teach one. Yeah, absolutely. When people do leave, when people do pass away, though, I always feel like what did their legacy leave? Whether it's a loved one or if it's someone that's a hierarchy, you know, like we see like with Reverend Jesse Jackson and other people. It's just up to us to continue those things. What was positive that he did. Continue those things, you know. So, you know, if you have a baby on the side, you know, you can be redeemed. No. but to me too, that's interesting because it just, I mean, you can still be a dedicated person, but some people give into human lust too. A lot of people do. So we ain't gonna sit here and act. A lot of y'all do at the drop of a dime. So here we go with that. Wow. But all right, this was just in, y'all. This was like really just in. MS Now has something. How about I share that too? You want that?
Passed away earlier this morning, according to a statement from his family and Rainbow Push. The Jackson family wrote, quote, "Our father was a servant leader, not only to our family, but to the oppressed, the voiceless, and the overlooked around the world. His unwavering belief in justice, equality, and love uplifted millions, and we ask you to honor his memory by continuing the fight for the values he lived by." Jackson died peacefully, surrounded by his loved ones. No cause of death was given, Reverend Al. That he had been ill for a while, but this moment, very difficult no matter what.
Very difficult. He had been ill with Parkinson's and palsy for the last several years. It had continued to diminish. I would go.
All right, I'm gonna let them do their commentary real quick too. You look ill. Al Sharpton been looking ill since he lost weight. He was already obese. He was a great leader too, and he still does. He still is in the fight. He over here with some girl like half his. You look sick, bruh, too. He got to get it together. I'm saying because y'all not gonna say it, and he keep being on TV every day looking like he this big. I'm small. He made me look like a chunky girl. You need to slow down. You take care of yourself too, bruh. Please take care of yourself.
Every couple of months and see him. I went, especially we're going Christmas Day after we feed the hungry here in New York. And my daughters and I went a few weeks ago, and he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk for the last several months. So at one level, you didn't want to see him suffer, but at another level, you grappling with him passing. His family called me in the middle of the night, said he had passed. We had prayer before they took his body out of the room where he was. I talked to his son, Yusef, and Jesse Jr. But I think people should realize Jesse Jackson helped change American politics. He changed civil rights. He brought proportional representation into the primaries. Before him, you could win by 2 votes and you take all the delegates in the state. He changed that, which led to a Barack Obama being able to be nominated. He led to many changes. He kept Dr. King's dream going, and we have to keep his going. So I think that I've known him since my mother brought me to Operation Breadbasket through Reverend William Jones when I was 12 years old, and I've been around Reverend Jackson 59 years. So it's a long time, and we've gone through a lot together, and I'll miss him greatly.
Rev, I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend this morning. Appreciate you being here to talk about it. And you mentioned his connection to Dr. King. I mean, he was there on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel on April 4th, 1968, when Dr. King was assassinated. Can you just talk about his place in the Reverend Jackson's place in the movement after that, when it was looking for who is the leader now?
When Reverend Jackson was the youngest person on staff, and what a lot of people don't understand, Dr. King's organization, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, was a Southern regional organization. He went to Chicago and started dealing with urban issues to try and nationalize. And there he met theology student, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who was then 26, 27. Reverend Jackson was the youngest member, then later put on his staff a year later. And he was about 12 years younger than Dr. King, so he's almost the next generation. So he used to always tease me and others, Lamel McMorris, Reverend James Meeks and others. And y'all are a generation behind me like I was Dr. King. And he would tell us stories of how he was being trained by Dr. King. So his job was as difficult as the job that preceded him, is to keep the Voting Rights Act in, because every 5 to 6 years you had to reenact it. It is now under threat. To keep some of the wins of the civil rights movement of the 60s was to maintain it in the 70s and 80s and 90s. That was as difficult as it was to get in the first place, and he was the one that was out front doing that.
You know, Rev, there may be a few people that remember now, but in 1986, he organized politically in a way that no civil rights leader had organized before, and actually helped the Democrats do extremely well in the middle of Reaganism. And the Democrats had a huge win in 1986, and all fingers pointed towards Jesse Jackson's organization. So he really knew politically how to organize, and that was followed up 2 years later by his own historic run for president. Talk about what that meant, not only to the civil rights movement, but to you, and eventually to Barack Obama, who would run successfully in 2008.
He ran in '84, and in '84 he registered a lot of voters that led exactly to what you're talking about, Joe. In '86, the midterm elections at that time, these newly registered voters that had been energized by the Jackson '84 campaign came out in states that had not seen that kind of turnout and literally changed the Congress. So in 84, Jackson's run helped to put the Democrats in position. In 86, led on to 88, where he had the historic run. And I think that it was his historic run that was able to change proportional delegates in the convention. Had those rules not been changed, Barack Obama would not have been nominated some 20 years later, because Hillary Clinton won in all the major states, and she would have winner take all. The fact that he would get his proportion kept him in the running to where he was the nominee. What he meant to me personally, he taught me activism. He would tell me that preaching was not just having one church, it's being able to deal with the issues of the world, and that was the kind of way he taught me. And he was definitely the most definitive teacher in my life, including, he teased me, he used to do a show on CNN, Both Sides. He said he was training me for Politics Nation.
Rev, in 1988, he did well in the Democratic primary process. He came second in the nominating campaign. Why didn't he run again? I mean, having done so well in 88, did he then just decide, actually, you know what, I could do better outside of the strict political system, and he was this kind of informal diplomat that he could and founding Rainbow Nation? Did he feel he could just have more influence on American society, not in the traditional presidential running race structure?
He basically was not a politician. He was one that saw politics as a means, not an end. And he saw himself fighting in the social policy arena. He had accumulated such influence that he used it to help what he wanted to see done in terms of social policy. We had started seeing the country go back to racial profiling and immigration rights even then, and the rights of women. He felt he could be better with a broader context, and he was going global. He went and got hostages that no one else could get out of Iraq. He brought home hostages. He went and got Goodman out of Syria. And this had never been done in the civil rights movement, and never been done at that level. Jesse Jackson broke ground that no one had done. And then later, politically, he and his wife, Jacqueline Jackson, who's been the rock of the family, the rock of the movement, unspoken, but the rock, they were born and raised in the segregated South, and they put two of their sons in Congress. So his political legacy, two of his sons, one is in Congress now, another one running, Jesse Jr. is running again for Congress. To have Jackie and Jesse Jackson born in segregation, to put two sons in Congress in the span of their lifetime, shows how far America has come, but how far we yet need to go.
And again, just a reminder, Mika, of 1988 and what a significant campaign he had in 88 historically, following up on the history that was made in 86. Jackson came in second to Mike Dukakis, but beat out candidates future Vice President Al Gore, future President Joe Biden, and Dick Gephardt, and many others. Johnny Apple of the New York Times was so impressed that he called 1988 the year of Jackson. We obviously our thanks to him for all that he has done through the years for civil rights. And right now, though, our thoughts are with his family and loved ones.
And I need you more tonight. And I need you more than ever since. See that look in your eyes. Keep your eyes on that mother-loving prize. Don't ask me how I'm doing. I'm upset. What the Drake said. Whatever Drake said. Every now and then I fall apart. All right. So yeah, Reverend Jesse Jackson. It was just mentioned a couple hours ago that he passed away. So we're just getting the latest. There's a lot of reactions. You know, there's going to be lots and lots. ask y'all to, be respectful, be the adults that we are. Appreciate it. Just open chat. And I need you more tonight. I am somebody.
Carolina, he joined a demonstration of black students at the whites-only public library.
Several of my classmates and I, we were arrested trying to use a public library in Greenville, South Carolina. We could not buy ice cream in the front door at Howard Johnson.
Jackson transferred to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University in Greensboro and found his focus in the civil rights movement.
I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody.
In 1965, Jackson marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the Alabama marches from Selma to Montgomery, the state capital.
Against that setting, he dreamed of a day we'd be judged by character, not condemned by color.
Jackson's passion impressed Dr. King, although their relationship was not always smooth. Jackson was appointed director of Operation Breadbasket in Chicago, the economic arm of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. The purpose, to create jobs for African Americans and support black-owned businesses. Jesse Jackson was with Dr. King in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
Shot, killed in cold blood. All I can remember is some voice saying, one bullet cannot kill a movement. We must keep going.
2 months later, in June, Jackson was ordained a minister. 1971, he founded Operation Push, People United to Save Humanity, later becoming the Rainbow Push Coalition. Based on Chicago's South Side, it would become a powerful political and religious force, urging economic development and opportunity for black Americans and racial diversity in hiring and management, using the muscle of boycotts against businesses that stood in the way of its efforts. Coca-Cola was a target, Anheuser-Busch, Burger King, Nike, and CBS Television, among others. The man who demanded respect from giant corporations also had a humorous side and would make people laugh on Saturday Night Live. His rendition of a Dr. Seuss classic in his trademark speaking style is iconic.
I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham.
But over decades, Reverend Jesse Jackson was growing in political stature and his influence on international matters. He traveled to Syria in 1983 to secure the release of a captured American Navy pilot. He helped to negotiate the release of 22 Americans being held in Cuba by Fidel Castro. His private diplomacy found success over the years, as well as his growing political strength. In 1984, Reverend Jackson made his first run for President of the United States.
This is not a black campaign. It's a campaign through the eyes of the hurt and the rejected.
But his primary campaign took a hit when he used derogatory terms for Jewish people in New York City in a private conversation that became public. He would run for president again in 1988, coming in second in the Democratic primary. Reverend Jackson's own goal of leading the nation from the Oval Office would not happen, but ABC 7 was with Reverend Jackson in Denver in 2008.
So let us agree that patriotism has no party. I love this country, and so do you.
The night Barack Obama accepted the Democratic Party's nomination for president.
I practiced not crying tonight. I was going to be real tough because I had a lot of emotions.
Tears would fill Reverend Jackson's eyes 3 months later, watching here in Chicago as America elected its first black president.
We went from the balcony in Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. King was killed, balcony of the White House in Washington, President Barack Obama could wave it over the Potomac River. In 40 we came to the wilderness. In 40 years, we went from the balcony to the balcony, using the effective vote and building coalitions.
It was late 2017 when Reverend Jackson announced he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, the same condition that took his father's life. The Reverend's Rainbow Push Coalition now says that years later, doctors instead diagnosed him with PSP, or progressive supranuclear palsy. But it didn't slow his quest for civil rights, equality, and protesting the deadly shooting of Laquan McDonald.
We need a sense of fairness and justice applies to all.
In July of 2023, Reverend Jackson stepped down as the head of the Rainbow Push Coalition. And in July of 2025, the National Bar Association honored him with a Lifetime Achievement Award. The Reverend Jesse Jackson,
Keep hope alive.
Leaving large footprints for the journey that remains.
On tomorrow night and beyond. Keep hope alive. I love you very much.
Cheryl Burton, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Peace, y'all. Welcome to KNY7. If anyone's just coming in, we just found out just shortly ago that the Reverend Jesse Jackson has passed away. One of our strongest civil rights leaders ever in America. So it's doing just going over, showing live reactions and news that's going on with that. What the heck just happened? Huh, interesting. Wow. All right. I'm doing a lot of flipping around with that. Otherwise, hopefully everyone's having a good day.
I want to express my deep love and appreciation for the support my family has given me over these past months. They have endured pain, anxiety, threat, and fear, but they have been strengthened and made secure by faith in God, in America, and in you. Your love has protected us and made us strong. To my wife, Jackie, the foundation of our family, to our 5 children whom you met tonight, to my mother, Mrs. Helen Jackson, who is present tonight, and to our grandmother, Mrs. Matilda Burns, to my brother Chuck and his family, to my mother-in-law, Mrs. Gertrude Brown, who just last month at age 61 graduated from Hampton Institute, a marvelous achievement. I offer my appreciation to Mayor Andrew Young, who has provided such gracious hospitality to all of us this week, and a special salute to President Jimmy Carter. President Carter, President Carter restored honor to the White House after Watergate. He gave many of us a special opportunity to grow. For his kind words, for his unwavering commitment to peace in the world, and for the voters that came from his family, every member of his family, led by Billy and Amy, I offer my special thanks to the Carter family. My right and my privilege to stand here before you has been won in my lifetime by the blood and the sweat of the innocent. 24 years ago, the late Fannie Lou Hamer and Aaron Henry, who sits here tonight from Mississippi, were locked out onto the streets in Atlantic City, the head of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. But tonight, a black and white delegation from Mississippi is headed by Ed Cole, a black man from Mississippi. 24 years later. Many were lost in the struggle for the right to vote. Jimmy Lee Jackson, a young student, gave his life. Vala Luizzo, a white mother from Detroit, called nigger lover and brains blown out at point blank range. Surrounded Goodman and Cheney, 2 Jews and a black, found in a common grave, bodies riddled with bullets in Mississippi. The 4 darling little girls in a church in Birmingham, Alabama, they died that we might have a right to live. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lies only a few miles from us tonight. Tonight he must feel good as he looks down upon us. We sit here together, a rainbow coalition.
This man has seen so much and been through so much. I don't know if y'all really grasp it. I know some people will, and that's good. People have their opinions too. I never seen this man really come out and do wrong or wrong by any race of people. But you see too, you have the gremlins that even will come in the chat room like they've just come in mine and they think that they're going to do something. You're not going to do anything. The legacy is forever. And your racist ways will crumble, just like your people that think like you have already crumbled and are crumbling now. I come from people of the sun, the same sun that deteriorates those that are against the original people of the sun. Look it up. It's all around you. Then you get mad still at black people like we're not disintegrating you guys. You're disintegrating yourselves. So get it together. Get it together. Any devilish ways or demonic spirits and your energy that you try to bring in here, whether someone's dead or being born, I return it back to sender. any of that negative energy that you guys want to perpetrate to my channel, including some people that work for YouTube, I return all of it back to sender where it belongs. Okay? That's where it belongs.
Continue to follow the breaking news of the passing of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. The civil rights activist, politician, and minister died early this morning. His family telling us he died peacefully, surrounded by his loved ones.
In a statement, they say he was a servant leader, not only to our family, but to the oppressed, the voiceless, and the overlooked around the world. Reverend Jackson is survived by his wife Jacqueline, his 6 children, and his grandchildren. And we are joined now by one of his children, Congressman Jonathan Jackson. Good morning, Congressman. Our sincerest condolences to you and your family this morning.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone for your many prayers, and our family prays for you as well. And I'm just grateful to God. My mother has been married 64 years, and so I've known my father my entire life in a very dangerous line of work. And so I'm grateful to God for the time he's given us together. Thank you for the meaning of his life, and thank you for the love that he shared, an example he set, and the inspiration he's given to so many.
I know in your statement you said that he died peacefully, surrounded by family. Can you share any of those moments with us, and maybe, you know, the last conversation you might have had with your dad?
Yeah, I probably had my last conversation with him probably almost 4 or 5 months ago, when he was still verbal, and it was kind of hard to hear, but he transitioned at about 1 o'clock this morning. My brother Jesse Jr. and my mother around in our home, and he was comfortable, and you know, it was a battle. He's had a very rare form of Parkinson's, and the doctors had, you know, said he didn't have much time, and they'd given him months years ago, so he's exceeded that in every measure. So God has the final decision on that, and he went away in his home and around his family and his wife of 64 years.
And Congressman Jackson, this is Audrina. My prayers with you as well and your family. I do want to ask you, so many people are going to say a lot of things about your dad as they remember him today. What do you want people to remember about your dad?
Oh boy, I mean, if you've had the opportunity to come in contact with him, he's, you know, he's dead. Some people see a political figure, and I just know them as a person that's given me, never gave up on me. I would tell people, just as a son, speaking of a father, never give up on your children. He had enormous compassion. Part of his heart was a giver to life, believed in personal salvation as well as social salvation. He took us to church, introduced us to the body, the work of Christ, not just for the personal, but for the social. How can you help others? And he did it. And when I hear these stories, Judge Greg Mathis is a dear friend, and he met my father when he was in a detention facility and got out and went on to go from prison to judgeship, and spoke with a friend, Isaiah Thomas. He said, your father fed our family, and we needed food. And spoke with Abigail Spanberger. She was now the governor from Virginia, female. She said, I was making Jesse Jackson buttons. Your father inspired me, and to the coal miners, the farmers in Iowa, the barrios, people in the ghetto, that it was a life of hope. And that was more than just a slogan. That was a lifestyle. Hope was a defensive tool, and hope was also a tool to get ahead. And he told me that tears and sweat are both salty. Tears may get you sympathy, but the sweat will get you results. And so continue to work and never be better. Just keep striving to get better. So he's an icon. It's hard for me to describe him in those ways because he's dead foremost. And that's what I'm missing right now.
Yeah, Congressman Jackson, there are many who might say there's still so much work to be done when it comes to civil rights and rights for all. There's others who say that no one will be able to, you know, repeat the work that your father did in this modern age. In your opinion, what does need to be done moving forward? And is there somebody that you think could pick up the mantle and carry it?
Oh, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. He's run his race and he's finished his course. And there are many great, talented people. He was very excited about the young leadership that he sees on the horizon and the people that are now stirring up the body of Christ coming out into the demonstrations. Very grateful for that. And leadership isn't something that's passed on. It's a mantle that people pick up and assume. No one inherits leadership. There's no one anointed the leader. And there are great people that are being fashioned by the times. And now they're beginning to emerge. And so in this 100 years of African American History Month that was created in the city of Chicago at the University of Chicago by Dr. Carji Woodson in this month of February, it's fitting that he goes on to the ancestors and as a part of having carried that race, he carried the baton, he carried the mantle. He was 27 years of age when his hero, his minister, Reverend Martin Luther King, was assassinated. I mean, and he kind of, I would tell you, lived each day like it was his last. That he had a very short, focus because he never saw himself living long, and God gave him a long and healthy life. And so God has been very kind and very great to our family.
I know as so many of us will look ahead and we'll talk about services and honoring him. Can you tell me what the last 24 to 48 hours have been like at the home?
Oh, just holding his hand, loving on him, talking to him, letting him hear everything, giving all of our expressions, being with my mom and the family was around his bedside. So it was very intimate and personal, and family, friends coming by, and overwhelming amount of ministers came by, prayed for us, prayed with us, and for that we're grateful. And he was ready. He told me that he was going to make it to heaven, and felt very comfortable with his life's work and the things that he had done and his reflections upon life. So many people came by to visit, and he was grateful. He was in a good place.
What do you think your father would be most proud of in terms of his accomplishments? Did he ever talk about that with you?
No, he stayed. He thought history would be able to write that book, and history would judge his life and work. He didn't try to shape his narrative, his story. Doesn't leave behind an autobiography or anything like that. He wasn't trying to fashion a story or create a story. He wanted to live his life out, and he did it on his terms. It was dangerous work. He was at seminary school, University of Chicago, and Reverend Martin Luther King asked him to come work for him. And he says, Reverend Martin Luther King told him, I can teach you more about the seminary in 6 months than you're going to be able to learn here. And he took that challenge up, put his hand in God's hand, and started moving forward. And so that's part of the legacy. He trusted God, and God's been gracious, and people have been kind. And so we're so thankful for his life, and so thankful for this city. The city's been has been tremendous, and the expressions of love have been just overwhelming.
You know, I'm just thinking about back on talking to kids at Rainbow Push and the Oratorical Society, and them saying they look to your dad as a really powerful orator, someone who helped shape what they do now as they continue to speak on stages and talk about civil rights. I mean, there's so much, right, in that legacy of the kids there, even on the South Side.
Oh my gosh, yes. Words have power, words have weight. He told me one time, he said, words are so powerful. God spoke the world into existence, reflected on Genesis. Deeply spiritual man, and wanted to make a difference. He didn't look at life as accumulating cars or properties. He looked at it as touching people.
Leader.
To the best of my knowledge, he was a great leader. Um, any negativity, like a lot of people have negative things that people are going to say, so that's just how it is. Um, the planet is filled with love. We just have people that are controlled by demonic entities that spread hate. And it's really bad for y'all health. I don't know why y'all not looking at the own statistics of your own people and look at y'all health chart. Let me put my pinky out. Yeah. See how the demon spirits leave? So some people, they're coming in and they're like, oh, all right, good, not concerned with that. But what's interesting to me though is this YouTube platform, the people that they do push to come on people's channels and not, and you guys are some of y'all are awesome. So shout out to y'all. I've been meeting some of you guys, getting acquainted with y'all. The demonic spirits, they're not needed. I'm gonna clean you when you come here. Now it could be a bloodbath or it could be peaceful. You understand? I have a strong power for either way. I'd rather be peaceful. I'm usually peaceful. So I'm not looking for your empty seats. I'm not looking for your empty minds. I'm looking for some real people and people that are looking for change, but looking for goodness. So those are the people that stick by me. Those are the people that frequent my channel. Those are the people that will come back. Even the hateful ones, you're gonna come back because y'all keep coming back and they try to run off so the numbers go down when I start speaking that truth. It doesn't matter because the truth is still going to be heard. It's still going to be there. If you think you're stopping something, come on. I got a big machine that keep trying to play games. You know what I'm saying? So this is living proof. I'm living proof of the biases through YouTube. If you see the emails I received recently, which I'm going to show at some point too, you'll see the biases. You'll see the things that we go through. It's just a little bit of what civil rights means and inequality means. Let's take away the personalness. Let's take away whatever it is that you're trying to portray when it comes to Black leadership. It's going to be here. It's been here before most people. So, some of y'all have a problem with accepting us as the original people. Just because you don't accept it, don't make it not true. Some of y'all are so stuck on living a lie. You take it to work with you. You take it back home with you. You birth it into your children. Like the maker ain't gonna meet you when your day comes. Huh? You do know that, right? When your maker comes, some of y'all, the Grim Reaper is coming for y'all. He coming with the whole thing. So what did you leave behind when your time comes? What will people say about you when your time comes? Not the naysayers. Everyone has haters. It's kind of weird, but it's just like, what will they say about you? What will they say about y'all if you were to pass today? What would the obituary read? Would it be blank? Nah, but what would it read? Okay, you went to school. You're a parent of such and such, or your parents and this and that. What would it read? I think about this a lot. I think we all have a lot of similar thought process when people pass or when you're on your way to the funeral, when you're leaving, when you go cemeteries and all that stuff. I don't know how y'all feel about zodiacs, but I'm gonna speak my truth. As a Scorpio, as Scorpios, we think about death a lot. We just do. I'm not sure why, but part of it is because we are part of the underworld. That underworld that people fear, the underworld where people just swear it's nothing but hell and flames and all that stuff. We are rulers of the underworld. We look at these things. If you connect with me and connect with my channel, all you're gonna do, you're gonna reach higher heights, but you gotta want to do it. You gotta want to do it, and it's up to you. A lot of y'all are going to let my skin, my tone, all of that dignify how you feel about my channel, me, and my people. That's on you. If you are my people and you never did a dang on thing for nobody but your own black ass, that's on you. There's too many people about what I can do and bring people up. We're judged on everything. Y'all love to come in here talking y'all trash, man. We're judged on not forget just the color of your skin, the texture of your hair. If you bald headed, I guess that your baldy ain't good enough either. Are you kidding me? I'm an original woman. Everything else is a prototype, and they didn't do that good with it either. Come on, you know when you start speaking that truth, they be scared. Come on, the prototypes suck. What I'll do is show a little more of the reactions that are global in the essence of the death of Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's done a lot of great things, and we can nitpick things because trust and believe. I feel like the older I get, the more I'm seeing too. And I know everybody says that, but I've seen what I need to see, but I'm also wanting to go a little further with it. I want to go a little further with it so that I stand right in how I feel agendas should move forward in America, who I am. My race does not dictate what political party I rock with or could see fit. We have to learn to individualize based on our beliefs and our morals, but we have to compromise and get together and network people. That's the way to do it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You can take what I'm saying, or you could just I don't know what to tell y'all, but y'all not stopping nothing. All you're gonna do is y'all gotta realize, and I'm talking to my people because a lot of white people come in here. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually tending to be a good thing. And I had to learn to accept things because you guys give us so much oppression and so much hurt. It's like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And then I see my own people doing some too. So I'd be like, yo, all y'all suspect to me anyway. But what I'm telling you is if you individualize and get yourself together and get right and then network, you're gonna network with the right people. Just do it. Don't let that ego mess you up. Don't be Dr. Umar Johnson too much where your ego is getting in your own way. I don't care how much you talk about beautiful black queens and all that stuff. You have to get yourself together as a righteous black man before you ever get a real queen in your life, sir. Because it ain't just about the BBC that's hanging between your thighs or, between your hip, whatever. I know big words, anatomy. I'm telling you, it's time. When people leave, you have to pick up the pieces. You got to pick up the pieces. Martin Lawrence show. You have to pick it up. So it's not an L because we know that there's going to time will come where we're going to be deceased and or some type of separation. And then we're moving towards advancements in life too. So hope to see y'all back. I'm going to have information on, it's kind of switching the topic, but dreams. How you can articulate answers while you sleep. I want to start talking about brain activity. I want to start talking about things that I've learned and I'm going to teach y'all to do where you do it before you go to sleep. When you wake up, you will have certain answers. You put those answers forth while you're awake in your consciousness. And it's going to start making a difference in your life too. So we need to start pushing some things. Not everything is going to be on this YouTube channel. It's my channel, but it's going to have to be a membership. There's one that's only $1. The other one's like $4.99. I'm going to have exclusive stuff in here. I can't put everything on here. It doesn't make sense to give so much of yourself and they send haters in here all the time. You know what I'm saying? when you barely get your own people supporting you. You feel where I'm coming from? So I'm damn sure not going to keep giving too much on here. And then people take a little bit of your stuff and then they put it on a larger channel. You don't get no type of recognition for it. And I say recognition because that would help people meet me. I want to know y'all thoughts too. I'm giving you mine, but I'm also open to know what y'all thoughts are too. We share this big old world, but too many people just playing in it, like playing in it, wasting time nonstop. It's nuts. It's nuts.
The moral challenge of its day. What's the moral challenge of our day? We have public accommodations. We have the right to vote. We have open house.
I appreciate y'all coming through. If y'all like real conversation and real talk, and some entertainment, you'll subscribe. I'm Kyan Y7. You'll hit like. I don't know. Y'all like to shuck and jive a lot. I feel like when I come on here with the old school term shucking and jiving, that's when y'all get hyped. That's when y'all got so much. But when it comes to detrimental things in lives, y'all act like y'all don't really have a brain. Like I don't know, but it's gonna be on y'all. It's not on me. I mean, it's my channel. But other than that, I don't know. I do want to see where our people at. I want to know where Black people stand today. I want to know. And then I want to know what the other cultures, what do y'all stand for? You know what I'm saying? And what are you looking for in a YouTube channel? What do y'all want? People are so hard to please. I'm starting to feel like other countries feel about Americans. Americans, you're so spoiled. You're spoiled and you're getting rotten. I know in New York, y'all be rotten in our apple. But what do y'all want out of YouTube channels? Also, what do y'all look for in policies? What do y'all want out of life while you're here? You don't know when your day is coming. And y'all can't give no feedback? Y'all like, what's good? If you're not doing much with your life, what are you living? Like, what do you guys want? What are you doing with yourselves? I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? Are you stagnated? Are you happy with just getting by? I'm going to share some more, then we'll just go ahead and close on out.
Posing without notice economic violence.
Thanks for coming through, y'all.
Even the greedy do not profit long from greed. Economic violence. Most poor people are not lazy. They're not black. They're not brown. They're mostly white and female and young. But whether white, black, or brown, a hungry baby barely turned inside out is the same color. Call it pain, call it hurt, call it agony. Most poor people are not on welfare. Some of them are illiterate and can't read the want ad sections. When they can't find a job that matches their address. They work hard every day. I know. I live amongst them. I'm one of them. I know they work. I'm a witness. Germany and Japan are not creditor nations. That means they got a surplus. We are a debtor nation. Means we are in debt. Let them share more of the burden of their own defense. Use some of that money to build the housing. Use some of that money to educate our children. Use some of that money for long-term health care. Use some of that money to wipe out these slums and put America back to work. I just want to take common sense to high places. If we can bail out Europe and Japan, if we can bail out Continental Bank and Chrysler and Mr. Iacocca make $8,000 an hour, we can bail out the family farmer. I just want to make common sense. It does not make sense to close down 650,000 family farms in this country while importing food from abroad subsidized by the U.S. government. Let's make sense. It does not make sense to be escorting oil tankers up and down the Persian Gulf, paying $2.50 for every $1 worth of oil we bring out, while oil wells are capped in Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. I just want to make sense. Leadership must meet the moral challenge of its day. What's the moral challenge of our day? We have public accommodations. We have the right to vote. We have open housing. What's the fundamental challenge of our day? It is to end economic violence. Plant closing without notice, economic violence. Even the greedy do not profit long from greed, economic violence. Most poor people are not lazy. They're not black. They're not brown. They're mostly white and female and young. But whether white, black, or brown, a hungry baby barely turned inside out is the same color. Call it pain, call it hurt, call it agony. Most poor people are not on welfare. Some of them are illiterate and can't read the want ad sections. And when they can't find a job that matches their address. They work hard every day. I know. I live amongst them. I'm one of them. I know they work. I'm a witness. They catch the early bus. They work every day. They raise other people's children. They work every day. They clean the streets. They work every day. They drive dangerous cabs. They work every day. They change the beds you slept in these hotels last night and can't get a union contract. They work every day. No, they are not lazy. Someone must defend them because it's right, and they cannot speak for themselves. They work in hospitals. I know they do. They wipe the bodies of those who are sick with $1 worth of oil we bring out, while oil wells are capped in Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. I just want to make sense. Leadership must meet the moral challenge of its day. What's the moral challenge of our day? We have public accommodations. We have the right to vote. We have open housing. What's the fundamental challenge of our day? It is to end economic violence. Plant closing without notice, economic violence. Even the greedy do not profit long from greed, economic violence. Most poor people are not lazy. They're not black. They're not brown. They're mostly white and female and young. But whether white, black, or brown, a hungry baby barely turned inside out is the same color. call it pain, call it hurt, call it agony. Most poor people are not on welfare. Some of them are illiterate and can't read the want ad sections. And when they can't find a job that matches their address. They work hard every day. I know. I live amongst them. I'm one of them. I know they work. I'm a witness. They catch the early bus. They work every day. They raise other people's children. They work every day. They clean the streets. They work every day. They drive dangerous cabs. They work every day. They change the beds you slept in these hotels last night and can't get a union contract. They work every day. No, they are not lazy. Someone must defend them because it's right, and they cannot speak for themselves. They work in hospitals. I know they do. They wipe the bodies of those who are sick with fever and pain. They empty their bedpans. They clean out their commode. No job is beneath them. And yet when they get sick, they cannot lie in the bed they made up every day. America, that is not right. We are a better nation than that. We are a better nation than that. We need a real war on drugs. You can't just say no. It's deeper than that. You can't just get a palm reader or an astrologer. It's more profound than that. We're spending $150 billion on drugs a year. We've gone from ignoring it to focusing on the children. Children cannot buy $150 billion worth of drugs a year. A few high-profile athletes are not laundering $150 billion a year. Bankers are. I met the children in Watts who unfortunately in their despair, their grapes of hope have become raisins of despair, and they're turning on each other and they're self-destructing. But I stayed with them all night long. I wanted to hear their case. They said, Jesse Jackson, as you challenge us to say no to drugs, you're right. And to not sell them, you're right. To not use these guns, you're right. By the way, the promise of SEPTA, they displaced CETA. They did not replace CETA.
I'll say this before I go, and thank you to the sister that chimed in because it speaks on to what I was speaking on. There's people like me that fight and stand alone, and there's a lack of support of any kind. I know I got it though, because I know I get it from the universe and my ancestors. Yes, I do. If you look at the chat, you'll see how hateful some of these oppressors are. Look at the numbers. They'll go down too when I start going in on them. And I'm not even going to really go in on them. I think I'm going to keep it a little more peaceful than I kind of feel like. They're saying speak nice about white people. Yeah, some are too good, but we know that already. Let's keep it. Be nice to black folks. We don't sit around looking for race baiting topics. Those other type of blacks do that. We call racism out how we see it and how we feel it because we've all experienced it. A black person that says they haven't experienced racism is either ignorant or they want to rest in denial. It's one of the two. There's no such thing of anything in between. I know there are decent white people out there. I know some. But there are so many people by the masses, and now we have them forming groups on social media in trying to, we have older white males that are online and they keep talking about it. They're trying to recruit them young. It's the young recruitment of the hate of a Black person. Black people aren't raised to hate anybody. They're raised to know that they are a hated group because we are the ones that are the Israelites. We are the ones that are the original people that come from Africa. These Egyptians you're obsessed with. The whole entire continent of Africa. Don't get it twisted. We were all one piece of land on this planet, and then it started breaking up into pieces as we did with our genetics. My DNA is so powerful that it lies within ghost DNA in Africa that they can't even pinpoint where it came from. We are a mysterious people. We are a mighty people. We are not hateful people. We are not very revengeful either. Trust and believe, if we were, there would be barely any other race out here. We will always overpopulate. Forget dominate. That's in there too. You all have a maker to meet one day. Is going to judge you on how you treated the people of God, the people of the sun, which are Black people, believe it or not. And then you might want to say, well, it shouldn't matter when I treat Black people. I mean, I'm not racist. Well, sometimes, but you guys do it to yourselves. All I say is the truth. Man, fuck you and your fake truth. You guys are wishing death upon other Black leaders. I don't even like Maxine Waters either, but I see that nasty ass comment. You got to watch what you type because you're speaking it with the tongue. You're thinking it with your brain, and then you get to typing it and you think that the devil is your friend. The devil is going to come and strong arm you even more, and it's going to suffocate you. And a lot of racist people can't spell. Look in my chat room right now. You're spelling all over the place. You guys are the worst spellers in the world. You've never made it in a spelling bee. Ever. Ever. Hatred leads to ignorance. There's no sane racist person. It's insane to be racist. So thank you to the sister because she's calling it out right. And I appreciate you for that because it's not easy all the time coming on here when I'm always faced with racism. I'm always faced with oppressors. Sometimes we come in here, we just kick it, we're cool, but it depends on the content. Because if the content don't rub certain people the right way, they come for you and they want you gone because they feel like they should have power over everything. And that's why they colonize everything. They've done it for centuries. They figure, why stop now? We'll just do it in a different way. That's why the African presidents are getting together now. And they said, hey, they're doing modernizing colonization on us. We got to stop this. NATO is weak, but NATO wants to stay strong. NATO is full of colonizers. NATO is us too. Music to your ears. He's going to lure you in, and then he's going to disintegrate you and your people. The friends, he uses you. He uses you. And when he's done with you, you'll see how disposable you are. You do it in the workplace. You do it when we go to the doctors. You do it at the funeral homes. You remove our organs at the funeral homes without our permission. Stop playing with me. Certain groups of people that used to eat us. Come on, man. I got the menu. You used to sell our bones and used to eat our liver. You sold it for 5 cents and 10 cents. I saw the menu. You guys got to know your history. I went to college and studied our history too, and I lived it because I am her. I am. May he rest in peace. And I know y'all want him in pieces, but that's not how it's going to go. Y'all got to find it in yourselves to ask yourself, do I live with hate? Stop saying you don't live with hate and you're living with hate. Stop saying you're not racist and you're doing everything that signifies racism. You're not going to get nowhere in life like that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So y'all might as well just stop it. Stop the clown shit now. Stop it. It's not going to work. I don't care how many friends you got. I don't care who you know that's black. I don't care. It's what are your motives? I don't care about the N word. How do you feel about black people? And if you say, I don't care, we all share this planet. Okay, when you leave black folks alone, we'll be in our abyss. We are very peaceful people. We're not asking for y'all to keep coming with the racist things. We don't get off on that. You guys be somewhere jacking on that. That's why you be on XXX porn sites and stuff, dragging black women and being really weird with us when it even comes to pornography. Y'all jack off of everything. You creatures of bestiality. Keep playing with me. I don't got that much time today, though, because I really go in on y'all. And I never say all. I've never said every one of y'all. But the ones that are, they want to be first and forefront. You guys believe in colonization because you believe that you are it. You damn near think you're gods. We hear black men talk God. What up, God? Peace, God. Peace of the earth. When other races of people tend to think that they are a living, walking God, and you best bow down because you are beneath them anyway. What are you doing up here? You're beneath me. Go back down where you belong. Well, guess what? There's those of us that are learning that we belong at the top, right where we've been in the beginning of time, right where we come from, outer space. Our DNA connects with outer space. The blood in my veins, mostly red blood cells. My people, mostly red blood cells. My people can breathe in outer space. I know that's over your head, but that's on y'all. I suggest you check out my membership. I have some more up close and personal information, conversation for us. And I have that going on. So I see y'all another time. Peace and blessings to y'all, and peace and blessings to Jesse Jackson's family. Never said he was perfect. No man walking on the earth's surface is. That's what I was told. Nobody's perfect, but we can do the dang on thing. We got to try and just be of a better people. And thank you. The beginning of this live stream, I was mostly talking about the Guthrie family and kidnapping and not letting people steal your joy because it's a choice. People can't take from you what you don't allow. So that was mostly the point. But while I was on, I was told by someone that was in the chat that Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away. So it's like a double live stream, not to add confusion, but yes, he just passed away this morning, February 17th, 2026. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. And all right, that'll be on Kind Y7. I talk about things to do with the community, mostly inner community, mostly of melanated people. And I do have universal topics too, of course. I talk about astros on my channel. It has to do with astronomy and some astrology and the connections to be made. Some questions we have tons of questions, but I have information too. So it'll be interesting. And things to do with intimacy, things like that with how we relate to one another, our relations, okay? And our energy, our spirit that we have with us. So if you're interested in any of that, I appreciate and feel that you will benefit from subscribing to me. Hit like sometimes, chat, leave a comment, catch a replay, all that. It's very much appreciated. And I just started a membership. YouTube is playing around with my membership stuff. Like it's really weird, y'all. Like I'm like, y'all getting pissed now. I'm just getting started pretty much, but whatever, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings to y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Battle Zone. Appreciate you. I need that. Okay. Support always. Thank you. All right. Peace.
I see you, devil. I see you, devil. Ain't nobody scared of you. More than welcome.
Synagogue. Praise him like he never prayed before. If he made a way, shout hallelujah. If he turned it around, shout glory. If he opened doors, shout amen. He provided for you. Shout yeah, 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 yeah.
EYNY 7.
Asking my black butt, am I okay? Is your white butt okay?
Sit your $5 ass down.
Lay your ass down. Lay your ass down. Thank you, Will. Sit down.
Look at that white goat. Oh, they are so cute. Oh, look, there's a black one. Black one?